friends, Kim from Stamping Up Perfection. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm playing with the Stampin' Up! Light the Year stamp set. This has been out for a little while and I'm finally finding time to play with it. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm excited about this one. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to buy it. I think it's going to make some really pretty Christmas cards and Christmas tags. So I thought I'd share a Christmas card with you today. And I'm going to play with this. Now this is a beautiful stamp set. It is a two-step stamp set. All the little bits here, the greenery and the pine cone are all two-step stamps. It comes with a bow, two different sizes of lanterns, and a candle, and you get 3 beautiful sentiments to go along with it. You can also get the coordinating die set. The coordinating die set has a couple of extra things in here. It's got a couple little greenery bits and some little berry dies there that you can actually cut out. So today I want to make a card, and I'm going to, this is going to be a Christmas card. I've seen quite a few people make like fall cards with this stamp set. They just change the color of the bow and the greenery a little bit and made it a little bit more fall-like. So I'm going to be using this this basic gray cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. I scored and folded it 5 1/2. I'm going to put quite a few layers on my card today. So I've got a piece of cherry cobbler cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just love cherry cobbler on my Christmas cards, and I like a little bit of that peeking out. I have a piece of basic white cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of basic black cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then I've got this piece of Country Woods Designer Series paper, and I cut this at 3 3/4 by 5. So that's going to be my final layer that I build my lantern scene on, and I'm just going to glue all these together and they'll be ready to go. I've also got a piece of basic white for the inside. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, so I'll put that on the inside of my card as well. And I have one final piece of white here. I wanted to at least stamp all of these things once to show you what they look like, but I did go ahead and pre-do some of the pieces that I wanted to do, and you can see I even used that little extra greenery die to cut out some garden green little branches there. So let's start with the lantern. This is the largest of the 2 lanterns. I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso. I think this looks really pretty in Early Espresso. I did contemplate stamping it in copper clay as well. That would probably be really pretty. I'm just going to stamp this down. I love the style of this stamp. It's one of those that gives you darker spots and lighter spots, so it looks a little bit distressed. It's like they've already done the shading for you. Isn't that fantastic? Like, you don't have to think about the shading. It's already done. And it just makes it look a little bit more dimensional and realistic. So that was Early Espresso. And now I'm going to take some cherry cobbler here, and I'm going to add a candle in here. And I'm doing this in cherry cobbler. Make sure I really have this inked up. And I'm going to stamp this right in the middle of that center pane of glass, just like that. And I want to do one of the bows also while I have my cherry cobbler open. There we go. And I'm going to do one more of these little greenery pieces, and I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow. And I I did go ahead and stamp my 2 layers in the same colors. So these are actually designed so you can do just that. So I'm stamping the background one, which is the one that looks like it's more filled in. Then I have one that looks like it's just sort of an outline style. And I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to line that up. I line up the end of the stem of the 2 pieces, and then one of the first stem on the left hand side, and that sort of seems to line everything else up nicely. So you get a lot of nice little detail in there. And I've got the pine cone. I thought this looked great in pecan pie. And I found it easiest to do, again, the background one that looks like it's mostly filled in. I found it easiest to do this way. I really struggled with this one. This one was a little bit, it took a little bit of practice. And it looks pretty just like that. Like, you know, if you just left it like that. But then I'm going to take what is, I'm calling in my head the outline stamp, and I'm lining up the very bottom. I didn't quite get that. Let me try that again. That's meh. I'm gonna go with it. That's what it should look like. This is not dry yet, so it's a little bit darker, but I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, and then I'm gonna take, I haven't done this one yet. I thought I'd do a couple of these. And I'm gonna start with, again, the one that looks like it's the most detailed. I'm doing this in Old Olive just to have some contrast in the greens. And then I'm going to take the other side and just line it up. And I'm wondering if I might need to do a second green color there. Actually, I like how full it looks when you stamp them together. It looks really full and pretty. So I'm going to go with that. So now I can go ahead and die cut all my pieces out here. I brought my platform over. My die cut machine is on a table behind me. And oops, I got my really good one there, didn't I? Alright, if I want to use these, I have to fussy cut them out. So I'm just going to wiggle the paper. And I'll leave a little bit of green around them, or a little bit of white around them, and I'll just fussy cut them out. I'll just wiggle the paper, because that's how Connie Stewart does it. I wonder why they didn't give us a die for this. There we go. I don't know if I'll use this piece. I don't know if I like this color, but sometimes you want a little extra to fill in, and it's nice to actually make a couple extra things, because you can always use the extra things to tuck into a scrapbook layout, or I use the extra bits a lot in my traveler's notebook layouts, which mostly I'm the only one who sees, but I like to have the little extra pieces to do stuff like that. And I think I'm going to do something like that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down, and I'm going to start with these two things right here, and I'm going to use dimensionals because I need to tuck things behind them. So I'm going to add just a couple dimensionals in the middle. Okay, so I have an idea of how I want to lay this out. So I will pop these up. I'm going to bring in my little old yogurt cup here. And let's pop these two up. Something like that. And I can pop the bows on too. So that will get a dimensional. And then I'm going to start adding these pieces in. So I'll start with these because I kind of want these to go behind a little bit. Let's make them go like that. Like that. So one of these between them. There we go. And one of these between the next two. Okay. And then, oops, that was a lot. There's enough glue on there for two pieces. So I'm going to add this here and tuck this on top, just like that. So I've got lots of greenery going in here. And then I think I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of the pine cones. Tuck this up a little bit. And then I can tuck this in that way. And there we go, a little dimensional there. Add a little bit on the back of that. Just like that. Alright, so dimensional on the back of the second bow. And there we go. So I've got that. I've got three more details I want to add. I want to add a bow. I feel like this is the perfect ribbon to add a bow. I'm thinking I might add it over here. just like that. And then I have these cherry cobbler, and I think they're called pearl. Cherry cobbler and pearl things here that I think would look really nice. So I'm just going to take 3 of the cherry cobblers and tuck them in amongst the green stuff here. There we go. So I've got 3 of those, and now I need a sentiment, and I really love this All is Bright sentiment. I'm thinking that is going to work right there. And I'm also thinking cherry cobbler. So I want to make sure I get this straight. Okay, so I've got that on there. And I am going to put my head here. I'm just going to hold this in place for a minute to make sure that the ink has time to soak in. Like, you don't want to stamp and pull your stamp up right away. Give it a few seconds. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Beautiful. I think that's a really pretty Christmas card. And I've got the inside decorated. You could do the candle on the inside. That's really pretty, but I think that bow adds to it. I love all the layers. I actually added that white layer because I felt like the black right next to the cherry cobbler was just too dark, and I'm so glad I did that. I like that pop of white between the two, and I just like the little peek of all the different colors there. Isn't that fun? Super fun card. I'm super happy with that, and I will decorate the envelope with a bow or maybe even a lantern on it, and just decorate it that way. But that's really fun. That's going to go to somebody who I know will appreciate a handmade card. So friends, thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you are interested in purchasing some Stampin' Up! Supplies, like the stuff for this card, you can shop online at shopwithkim.net. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and if you make a purchase of $35 or more, I will send you a PDF class for free. So thanks so much for watching.